All right, so I'm gonna be walking you through n8n's building agent that they came out with recently. I'm gonna be showing you actually how to use it, how to navigate with it, and whether it actually works. I've heard some good things, so we'll be testing that out. Nonetheless, let's get into it. So, how you know you have it is if you have these here. So obviously when you come into n8n, you have add first step. Now we have two options. So instead of doing it manually, again, big time saver, we're gonna go build with AI. So I'm just gonna tap this here, and let's see what happens. And so there's the ask option, and then there's the build option. So obviously let's go to the build option here. Now it does some already recommendations. So let's do a daily AI news digest. So prompt is create a workflow that fetches the latest AI, whatever that might be. Okay, so that is kind of that. So this is obviously it working. It is thinking. I'm just gonna come out a little bit more here. It's doing its thing. Here we go. So it does give us basically the steps it's kind of going through, just like any LLM. So right now we're just searching the nodes. Again, it's fetching all this. This is the prompt. Getting no details, perfect. We can obviously stop it here if we don't like anything that it's thinking about. Let's see what this creates. And is it better to manually do it or to obviously have this thing build it out for you? Okay, so we're adding the nodes. Interesting, we did it vertically here. Let's see if it fixes it, because obviously this is not how it should look. But we're still working. Look at all the nodes here. There we go. Wow. All right. All right, so we connected the nodes. So again, we searched the nodes. We got the nodes, added the nodes, connecting the nodes, which is super important, obviously, for this thing to function. And obviously, we can change basically the triggers, and then the telegram, obviously here, updating window buffer memory. So this is very cool already. I'm actually very surprised that it was actually able to build this out. Nonetheless, okay, so there we go. Nonetheless, this is at least the shell. So this is like basically 80% done. All right, so let's zoom in once again and kind of walk through this. So the prompt was here. Again, something recommended for us. Probably just a major use case that they've discovered within the data. So we have the thinking steps. Once that is done and it's all complete, it's on my canvas. Here we go, how to set it up. So they do give you information on how to actually set this up, because you do. So basically that's telling you it's not 100%. You do obviously have to manually set some things up, which could be, let's see here. So how to set this up: configure new sources and the workflow configuration node. Perfect. So it does recommend what workflow you have to basically configure, which is nice. So instead of obviously looking at these error marks or just kind of looking around or testing it, it just lets you know automatically. So in the workflow configuration node, add URLs for 3 AI News RSS feeds or APIs. Okay, so one, it has to pull from something. This is what it's going to pull from. So that's going to be configured news resources in the workflow configuration node, which would be right here. Right. So I would have to put it from somewhere. It could be, I don't know, CNN, for instance, or some other digest, right? And then here, okay, so what I do like about that is to make things actually easier. We can obviously go by string, and here it even says placeholder value is the RSS feed. All right, which is very cool. So you know where to place it. They make it super easy, it looks like, to where to place the RSS feed. All right, so you'd have 1, 2, and 3, then Telegram chat. Okay, perfect. All right, so that looks pretty good right off the rip. Let's see what else we need to configure. So obviously we need to set up Telegram. We're not going to do that today. But we'd set up Telegram chat ID in the workflow configuration node, which is the same thing, which we saw there, Telegram ID, where you want to see the daily digest. Perfect. So we have these. These are pretty easy to do, super simple, and it actually tells you, okay, put in basically the Telegram chat ID, put that into the workflow node. So you know basically what node to look at, and you know exactly what to put in. And when you're in the node, it tells you the placeholder. It basically tells you what you need to put in, which is great. So then we can test the workflow. So click obviously test workflow to verify if it fetches news, generates summaries and image correctly. Perfect. Activate. Once tested, activate the workflow to run automatically every morning at 8 a.m. We can obviously change this to whatever time. Chat interface. Access the chat interface through the chat trigger node. So let's see here. So what we have so far, we have our trigger, right? So days between triggers, 1, 8 a.m. Again, we can do this on the hour, whatever, which is pretty basic. Then we have what we did here, which is the RSS feeds, right? We're going to have fetch news source 1, 2, and 3. We're going to merge, and then we're going to parse. Let's look through the data here. Run once for all items. JavaScript. Cool. Okay. All right. And again, if this doesn't work, we could just use AI to help us create better code. Once we have that, we're going to have summarized top 5 stories. So here, this looks like, very cool. Okay, so they do manually, I believe, manually connect to your APIs, as it looked like. Again, this is just a free account at the moment. Just wanted to see if the free account does give you access, and it does. So, but I believe it should manually connect your accounts, your credentials that you set up. So we're going to keep that there for now. Resource text, operation, message and model, perfect. So let's see what we have here. All right, some of these summarize these top 5 AI news stories in a concise, engaging format. For each story, include the title and a brief 2 to 3 sentence summary. Format is a numbered list. Cool. All right. Perfect. And obviously, we can add to this if we would desire. So we could let it run, and then if we didn't like what it spit out, what it didn't generate, we can always go back. Then we're gonna have basically, so we're gonna parse, rank articles, and then summarize them. Then while we are basically summarizing, we're gonna create an image. Let's look at this here. Again, we can pull this from ChatGPT. I'm gonna probably use n8n. So we're gonna use Gemini, and then okay, obviously free account again, depending on how many credits it takes or tokens. Let's just open this up here. So create a modern professional image representing today's top AI news and technology trends. Style, tech-focused, futuristic, clean design. We can obviously improve that prompt, but this will give you something, obviously. It'll probably give you something pretty good. Resolution, very important, depending on where, and then we can add in whatnot. That looks good, and then we're going to merge summary and image, right? Because we kind of want that together. And then we're going to format Telegram message, which is super important as well. So Telegram message is up here. Let's see what it says here. Summarize, yes, top 5 stories, image, JSON message, content, article, links, parse and rank, perfect, articles, item, JSON article, links. Execute previous nodes for, yeah, so that's fine. Then we have the image URL. Okay. And then that is going to send to Telegram. So this is just a quick Telegram node. All you're going to do with your credentials is super simple. And then again, that's probably going to pre-autofill. Send message. What we're going to send is workflow configuration, first JSON, Telegram chat ID. All right, very easy. And then obviously the Telegram message. So that is pretty simple. And the other cool part here, so obviously how to set it up, and then we have complete these steps. So we can actually just, you know, boom, it brings you to it, which is perfect. Again, sometimes people, if you're a beginner, okay, where's kind of this node, or where am I needing to populate? You can just click this, and it sends you right to it. All right, so we can go here. We're gonna need number one. We're gonna need to see here, and then we have a chat trigger. This here, let me see. So it should be able to chat about the news within that limit. At least 40 last messages should be stored. So this is kind of the bottom of the prompt here. And send everything as a structured Telegram message with article links. That's basically what we're getting. And then I should be able to chat about the news with the LLM. So you also have a chat feature. Now, the way they set that up, let's kind of look through this. So we have a chat trigger here, right? We would have to set that up. And then we have our agent here. And they also do offer tips, all right, tutorials and examples. So pretty cool here. So what we also have is obviously the OpenAI chat model. Now we're using 4.1 mini. You can basically use anything you want. Again, put in your credentials. And then the window buffer memory, which is the 40. Okay, so this could we can change this. But for right now, as it is, we have it at least 40 last messages should be stored. And that is that node there. So what we have is, this is actually really exciting. What we have, to be clear, so we have pretty much, I would say, 90%. Now, I don't know if there's going to be hiccups along the way, probably, to be honest. But this is 95% of what you're going to need to do. And it took us literally probably 5 minutes to create. And then what you're going to have is you're going to have these, the assistance of AI. So what I can do here is so this is the building section. Then we can come in here and ask. So if it is, let's just say, okay, let's actually just execute. Right, all right, so help me with the errors. Let's keep it super basic. Help me. So let's see what it does. So this is the ask side. Again, we were just on the build side. You can ask this to help you create code, where the problem is, what's going on, help me understand it better. Here are the current errors in your workflow. Summarize again. So parameter, yes, is required. Solution and the you need to select model. All right. Makes sense. And then send to Telegram node. Credentials for Telegram are not set. Perfect. Okay, so I need to set the credentials. It even gives you solution. Perfect. If you fix these two issues, your workload should be able to run. So interesting. That's the ask part. What we can do is, let's be clear here, this is basically 80% of the shell. This is not you, is just come in here and basically put in a few, put in some credentials, put in maybe some APIs potentially. But everything seems like it auto-populates. So it's very useful, very cool. Oh, that is that. That is basically the AI agent. Very interesting. I can open up the chat up here. I can chat with it. Obviously, I'm going to have chat right now. So that is the build and ask side, and basically the n8n agent. You can start building and save hours, literally, with this agent builder. They're probably, I can foresee, obviously, having just some issues. It's probably not 100% perfect, but the shell at least is there, and you just have to implement some stuff, and then maybe some trial and error with some of the code, which you can obviously ask the AI Ask Here button. So that is that. Comment down below if you've used this. If you're GPT-5, all right, so it's not worse, it's better. ChatGPT 5 is kind of their best model so far, but if you're looking to get better with ChatGPT 5 when it comes to prompting. Watch this video right here.